Today we're going to talk about one of the best new advertising techniques for your e-commerce brand. Hi, I'm Gretta Van Riel and I've founded 4 multi-million-dollar e-commerce brands. And today we're going to go into one of my favorite new advertising techniques, which is influencer whitelisting. So influencer whitelisting is the process whereby a brand is able to advertise through an influencer's social media account or their handle. So say a brand's advertising from my account to your potential customer or to the person being served that ad, it will look like it's actually coming from me rather than your branded account. As you can imagine, you're going to trust a person more than you're going to trust a company. So this just comes across as more authentic and genuine than running it from a branded account. The next benefit is that you're getting to target warmer audiences. A cold audience is somebody who hasn't ever, interacted with your brand or with your ad account before in the past. And in this case, you're able to market directly to this influencer's audience that already know, like, and trust that person. So that's really powerful, rather than having to advertise to new cold audiences. So say, like myself, the influencer has 200,000 Instagram followers. Those 200,000 people already know, hopefully like, that person, and you're therefore able to target that audience from a place of trust. And lastly, a benefit is obviously that it doesn't feel as much like an ad. When that's run from an influencer, it feels more organic and native to the platform. It doesn't feel like a brand is trying to advertise to as much. So some of these are the reasons why this is such an effective advertising method. And generally we've seen an uplift of around 1 ROAS. So say you're usually achieving like a 3 ROAS, that might jump to 4 just through using this method. So it's definitely something that you want to be looking at and testing for your brand. So those are the benefits of influencer whitelisting. So now it's important also to think about some of the mistakes that you could make while undertaking this process. So the first one is your influencer selection. So choosing the right influencer to work with. So what I usually work off as a general rule for this is the 3 R's in choosing the right influencer to work with. So reach, relevancy, and relationship. Reach is pretty important in this process because, like I said, you're advertising to that influencer's audience. Relevancy is also important because you want an influencer who is a relevant and authoritative person to be speaking about and creating content on your brand's behalf. And then relationship. So whether that influencer has a strong relationship will affect the impact of your ads on that influencer's audience, of course. So we want to choose the right influencers to work with. Next, we have to think about whether the influencer is a good content creator for your ads. So you don't just want a static image generally of the influencer using your product. It doesn't matter how good a fit the influencer is or how good a relationship they have with their audience. If their content doesn't convert, it's not going to be helpful for your brand. So you want to work with an influencer who can create different content styles for your brand. So not just photos, also video. So you want to work with somebody that can convert and sell your product, whether that is problem and solution style videos or just simple product reviews. Your content is going to determine whether those ads convert just as much as your influencer selection. You still need to be entirely on top of your numbers so that you know that you're not burning money and you're not creating a loss. So now I'm going to touch on the process required to set up influencer whitelisting between your brand and your influencer. But we're also going to list a longer form blog post in the description below that will take you through this in a much more step-by-step basis. So first up, what we need to do is create a contract or an agreement between your brand and the influencer. And as per most contracts, this will outline what exactly is offered to the influencer and what the influencer needs to do in return for your brand. So the first step in this contract needs to be what the influencer's compensation will be for this. So there's 2 main things to sort of think about here. There is ad account access and what the fee might be on, say, a monthly basis for access to their audience and ad account. And there is also content creation, or there's a combination sort of both. So it might be a static figure like $1,000 a month for advertising access and 3 pieces of video content a month, for example, so that you're able to create the ads to run to their audience. or it might be a more variable figure for larger macro influencers or brands that do have quite a high Facebook media spend or budget. We then look at doing 5% of ad spend, which is paid directly to the influencer. The more people that see the ad and the more the brand is spending, the more the influencer will be rewarded. So they're the two main sort of compensation areas that you would want to think about here. If you are looking to do this as a longer term marketing method, you will want to get in touch with your commercial lawyers to get a contract written up that is more specific to your brand and your individual needs and requirements there. So the second step is briefing the influencer on the types of video content that you require as your brand. So this might include things like a problem and solution video where the influencer highlights, a problem that they had and the way that your product solved that. It might be a simple review style video. It might be a transformation video where the influencer highlights, what their life was like before your product and what their life is like after your product. So it's going to depend on your individual product and what you're already using, in terms of angles and offers with your advertising already. If you've never done any paid advertising, you don't have any Facebook ads running at all yet, I think this would probably be maybe too advanced a method so far for you. So I would definitely do some research into the types of ad creatives that are converting for e-commerce brands and use that to apply to your influencer content. So step 3 is connecting your ad account to the influencer's profile. So the influencer needs to grant your brand advertiser access via Business Manager. This can be a little bit of a complicated fidgety process. So this is the bit where I'm going to refer to the link in our description, which will take you through the step-by-step process of exactly how to get this set up. It's not that complicated, but you just don't want to miss any steps. So it's easy just to read and check off like a checklist. And finally, once you have a contract, you have the content, and you have advertiser access via the influencer's account, all you need to do is get approval from the influencer that you're able to run that content and it's over to your media buyer to structure the ads. That's the process for influencer whitelisting, which is a really, really effective new advertising techniques that brands are only really just starting to pick up. So this sounds like something that would be appealing or a good fit for your brand. I definitely recommend checking out the blog post that's linked in the description, and I will see you in my next video.
Hey guys, hope you're loving our videos and that you're getting heaps of value from them. If you are, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to join the Foundr fam. If you did enjoy this video and want to continue to master your skills, make sure you click here to access your free training now, where we'll go into way more depth with this Foundr.